2001 Toyota 4runner alternator replacement. I'm Brian Esser from How to Automotive, and I'm going to walk you through the steps of replacing that. We're going to get started by disconnecting the negative battery cable here. Next, we're going to work on getting the belt off. And to do that, what we're going to do is loosen up the 14mm bolt here. Then there's going to be a 12mm bolt right underneath the pulley here. So you're going to loosen this 12mm bolt here. Just loosen a couple threads. It's with an extension and a ratchet like that, so I'll crack it free a few threads, then take it off. Now what you're going to need is a 12mm ratcheting wrench or a really short ratchet and socket, and you're going to put it right here on the bolt underneath here. So on the end of the alternator, on the front of the alternator I should say, there's a bolt, and you'll loosen that and that'll release the tension. Now that I got the belt off, I'm going to go ahead and remove this little plastic cover here that's going over the positive lead to the alternator, and I'm going to take the positive lead off with the little nut underneath we're removing. So after getting the positive lead off, on the back side right back here is a little electrical connector that you're going to squeeze the tabs together and pull the electrical connector off the back of the alternator. So here's the electrical tab I'm talking about here. So you push that little lever in and pull out. Okay, now that the wire loom now that the alternator is unplugged and the power lead is removed, mine has a little little loom holding the wire on, so I'm going to pop that off with a little screwdriver. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and remove the bottom bolt here. I'm going to finish taking this bolt out here all the way out, and then after that one we'll remove the 14mm bolt all the way out completely. Now that we got all the bolts removed, you can take a little flat blade screwdriver or a little pry bar right here and kind of pry it out of its little perch here. And now you can work the alternator towards here and pull it up. And this here is the tensioner and that we were loosening. So you got to be careful that this doesn't fall out. So when you put your alternator back on, you have to line the bottom port with that. To help get the new alternator back in, there's a little bushing here in this bracket that slides back and forth, and when you tighten the bolt up on this side, it pinches it. So to aid in getting it back in, what I like to do is take a little screwdriver or a punch and hit it and drive the little bushing back out towards it. So sometimes this little bushing, even when you hit it on the other side here, it doesn't, or it's kind of a hard angle and you can't get to it. So I tried hitting it a few times and it didn't want to move, and my alternator wouldn't swing up and go into place. So to overcome that, what I'm going to do is find a socket like this that fits around the bushing here on the outside but doesn't touch it, so it fits all the way around it. So I'm going to take a long bolt like this, slide it through, take the socket, slide it over here, put a nut on the end of the socket here. So I'll put the nut on like this, and as I tighten it, it'll pull the back side, it'll pull the bushing through. So I'm going to tighten this nut here with a wrench and then pull the thing through. Then after I'm done, that'll pull the bushing through. Then you're able to take your alternator and slide it into place like that, put your bolt through. So now we're ready to stab the alternator, and what we're going to do is stab this part of the alternator. We're going to stab it through this bolt here on the bottom first. We're just going to slide it on, and then we're going to rotate the alternator up into this bracket here. So now I just ran the bolt in until it just touched. It's not tight or anything. Now I'm going to go ahead and slide my belt on. Slip my belt on. Now I'm going to go ahead and adjust the belt by tightening the bolt here on the end. So after tightening the belt with the tensioner bolt here, you want to make sure you don't over tighten it. You want to be able to have some play in the belt a little bit, but because if you over tighten it, it'll burn the bearing up in the end. So after you get it tight, now you can tighten up the bolt that goes this way on the bottom, the 12mm bolt here, and tighten up the 14mm bolt on top. Now we can go ahead and plug in our electrical connector on the back and start and also start the power supply line wire to it, and start the nut and tighten it up, and make sure you don't over tighten it. It's made out of brass, so it's just snug. You don't want to break the spout off. Now I'm going to put the little cap back on the over the positive lead here, so that way it doesn't arc out on anything. hook up your negative battery cable, and if yours needs cleaning like these do, go ahead and clean that up, and that'll complete the alternator replacement. Only last step would be to check it with a charging system checker or a voltmeter to make sure your alternator is putting out, and that'll complete the alternator on a 2001 Toyota 4Runner. I'm Brian Essick from How To Automotive. I'd like to thank you guys for watching my videos, encourage you to subscribe, and invite you to come over to the howtoautomotive.com website for more valuable videos like this, and check out the tools and product page that I put together for you guys to help you out with your automotive needs. Thank you again for watching.